Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me well? Okay. Thanks very much for making until the end of the first day of Polkadot Decoded, and I'm proud to contribute to the main events of the Polkadot ecosystem. My name is Alex. I'm the CEO and the founder with Equilibrium, and it's great that Equilibrium has agenda for today's event. We kind of building the one-stop platform on Polkadot for DeFi ecosystem here, and actually we're solving, as it was mentioned, the problem of capital inefficiency in DeFi. So let me briefly guide you through what exactly we are building. So Equilibrium is one of the first parachains being onboarded in Polkadot. So we are introducing probably the most comprehensive DeFi platform, which includes probably all possible DeFi primitives from borrowing and lending down to stable swaps and stablecoin. First of all, we have the money markets on the table, which allows users to lend and borrow crypto assets. We are primarily focused on Polkadot native assets like dots, various dot wrappers, native stablecoins, and so on and so forth. Another exclusive opportunity that users have on our money markets is actually securing loans and earning substantial yields on this insurance. The second pillar of Equilibrium is our order book-based DEX, which allows for margin trading, and it's heavily leveraging for this purpose our money markets. And the center point of Equilibrium's product line is our EQD stablecoin, which is fully decentralized. It's backed by crypto assets as collateral. And the only way to put EQD into circulation is actually locking some liquid assets which we have on Polkadot within Equilibrium's parachain. And you can be sure that every time, every single EQD stablecoin being in circulation is backed by some liquid collateral. So this setup is similar to what MakerDAO actually offers, and similar to other decentralized stablecoins. But we obviously have quite a lot of interesting innovations that we have applied on EQD that makes EQD better, more resilient, and more robust rather than other decentralized stablecoins out there. So in terms of like assets that we support for EQD as collateral types, we have first of all DOT itself. We accept various ecosystem liquid dot wrappers, including C dots by Parallel or EQ dots by Equilibrium. We also have liquid dot staking in our product line. We accept ecosystem stablecoins, parachain native assets like Glimmer of Moonbeam, Astar, Interlace into BTC, and many others. And actually, we're still working on integrations. Despite being one of the top parachains in terms of XCM connections, we are exploring like more and more connections and adding more assets on our platform, and respectively to back up the supply of EQD stablecoins. So what key advantages we actually have at Equilibrium? Like first of all, we are introducing all-in-one platform, meaning that it's a single place for users to access all possible DeFi use cases that you can even imagine, and this is quite convenient. Secondly, we have risk-based pricing model for loans being taken on Equilibrium, and the interest rate that users pay account for, first of all, volatility of underlying collateral, and secondly, for the kind of security and collateralization level of particular user position, which gives users actually flexibility, and they can affect interest they pay on their loans by providing different collateral types or adding more collateral to their position if they want to pay less on the loan they have taken at Equilibrium. Then another obvious advantage is that we are supporting true collateral baskets, so meaning that you can compose your collateral out of different collateral types. You can simultaneously collateralize like volatile assets and also non-volatile assets in one basket to manage your risks within your positions if you wish to do so. And the fourth thing, like it's quite trending right now in the DeFi space to build up protocols that don't imply any kind of liquidations in case of margin calls. This is something that we have been offering from the day one. So we have insurance in place and all the loans in the system are secured, meaning that you don't need to rely on any kind of liquidation mechanics or, let's say, auction when somebody gets defaulted on their loans. This system-wide insurance actually makes Equilibrium pretty resilient. So this is actually the foundation pillars for the EQD stablecoin, and I will be talking a little bit more about that in the course of the presentation. And actually, this is the center topic of the presentation, like how exactly we are planning to make EQD Polkadot ecosystem's native decentralized stablecoin. Firstly, let's take a look at the landscape of stablecoins. We all know that there are four main types of stablecoins out there. First of all, like fiat-backed stablecoins, and they have like altogether pretty solid market cap of $120 billion right now. These stablecoins are pretty much robust. They serve their kind of goals of their users. Like it's they're actually used as the asset for arbitrage between exchanges, as quote assets for the major exchanges as well, like USDT and USDC, pretty widely distributed across the crypto ecosystem, like overall. The one drawback of this model is this is heavily centralized, and obviously everyone who uses this stablecoin, they take risks of central counterparties. We all remember what happened when Silvergate Bank got some issues, and actually USDC lost back because of significant gap in its backing back in the days, just recently. So another type of stablecoins is commodity-backed stablecoins backed by physical gold or some other fungible commodities. It's also quite widely spread stablecoins with the overall market cap over $1 billion. So it could be like stablecoins backed by physical gold, for example. These stablecoins are also heavily centralized and have the same drawbacks as fiat-backed stablecoins. Another two types are actually more decentralized, and they're like largely decentralized overall. For example, we have algorithmic stablecoins, which are usually relying on some elastic supply or some other algorithms behind that, which are actually help the stablecoins to maintain back to dollar or whatever assets it's back to. But the problem is that we currently don't have actual algorithmic stablecoins up and running because like Terra Luna didn't manage to make it through the latest crash last year. There are a few other attempts to build up proper algorithmic stablecoin, like we all remember the Basis protocol. They even could not manage to get to the market because of regulatory issues. And so basically, like the idea it's behind algorithmic stablecoins always quite interesting and promising. However, in practice, from the practical perspective, it's quite difficult to roll out something sustainable here. So the fourth type of stablecoins is crypto-backed stablecoins. This is the stablecoins which are similar to MakerDAO, or sometimes they're actually inheriting sort of the architecture of MakerDAO. This is the stablecoins which are backed by crypto collateral, and this crypto collateral is locked within smart contracts, and usually users are taking out loans in these crypto-backed stablecoins from respective protocols. And actually, they are committing to certain threshold of collateralization. If collateralization, thanks to volatility of underlying assets dropping below this threshold, they're getting liquidated. But through these mechanics, we can always guarantee that the whole supply of this decentralized stablecoin are actually backed by some liquid assets, which makes them quite, first of all, transparent. Secondly, packed to target assets. So I actually wanted to talk a little bit more about this decentralized model of stablecoins. And I took three major ecosystems. First of all, Ethereum. It's quite obvious choice. We have MakerDAO up and running over there. Tron, this probably a little bit controversial example. However, there is a USDD stablecoin, which is one of the most liquid decentralized stablecoins in the space overall. And here is Polkadot, where we yet don't have like the major decentralized stablecoin. But we want to, like I'm trying to analyze like what's going on in the like the major ecosystems to find out which perspective we have for decentralized stablecoin on Polkadot. So respectively, in Ethereum, we have DAI, which is backed by Ethereum and some other assets. And actually, I wanted to compare how actually the collateral behind this decentralized stablecoin is related to staked native to native assets of the network staked on this network. So let's say we have Ethereum, and currently Ethereum is available for staking. So there is like $33 billion worth Ethereum staked. At the same time, we have overall collateral of MakerDAO of roughly speaking like $3.5 billion worth Ethereum sitting over there, meaning that the relation between staked Ethereum and collateral MakerDAO is about 12%. So this is like very interesting consideration. So if we look at Tron, actually the same relation between TRX staked on Tron and TRX staked as collateral for USDD, this relation is even higher. It's almost 29%. So given that, we can make an assumption for Polkadot, how big could be the decentralized stablecoin over there. If we, let's say, consider staked DOT, which currently comes to $2.7 billion, we can assume that the decentralized stablecoin could potentially have backing of DOTs in amounts of, roughly speaking, like maybe $500 million or something like that. So it's quite interesting. Interesting perspective, I guess, and we can assume that the decentralized stablecoin could probably, in an interesting way, leverage the native DOTs asset, like DOT, respectively, because you can see that almost every decentralized stablecoin in other ecosystem in jeopardizing this native kind of asset supply, and in a good way, obviously. And yeah, so there is some assumptions that we can make for Polkadot. So Equilibrium, as I said, is building its own decentralized stablecoin, which is called EQD, and actually it fits the desired features of native ecosystem stablecoin. So first of all, it's backed to dollar in quite tight way. It supports all native Polkadot collateral types, including DOTs, liquid DOTs, wrappers, different ecosystem tokens, and so on and so forth. And also it introduces quite solid use cases to boost liquidity in Polkadot overall. So we have a bunch of integrations built between Equilibrium and other parachain projects so far. As I said, we're probably one of the most connected through Axiom with other parachains, including Moonbeam, Star, sorry, Interlay, and others. And for next steps, we'll be introducing more use cases for EQD by opening up liquidity pools on various DEXs. We're already working with BeamSwap, with RSwap, and there will be more pools open up in ecosystem money markets, and will be more joint campaigns coming over. So which advantages we bring to the table? So first of all, decentralization of EQD. Secondly, it's natively transferable through Axiom. It doesn't imply any bridging risks for its users. EQD supports the wide range of Polkadot's ecosystem assets as collateral. It's actually highly secure thanks to pegging mechanism and system-wide insurance that I mentioned in the beginning. Actually, it introduces quite solid use cases and liquidity foundation for the ecosystem overall. So how EQD is different to other stablecoins in Polkadot? Like, first of all, obviously, like it's supported by, it's backed by collateral baskets, as I said. Secondly, it introduces the risk-based interest rates, which is different to other kind of similar stablecoin models. And actually, it supports XM-compatible assets as collateral to mint EQD. So right now, if we look at the landscape specifically on Polkadot, we can figure out that like the native stablecoins are kind of, not that much reliable. Like AUSD, unfortunately, hasn't maintained the peg. It's currently traded below $1 for like at least 7 months till now. And other stablecoins are actually either suffering from limited supply on Polkadot, like USDT is still quite limited in supply there, or they're implying bridging risks, as I mentioned, because they need to be bridged from Ethereum on other networks connected with Polkadot. In terms of like use cases that we are introducing for EQD, first of all, EQD could become routing assets from one parachain to another. Another interesting use case is having EQD as quote currency for DEXs. We're currently talking to Polkadex, for example, and they're planning to integrate that and open up a separate trading section for the EQD stablecoin for pairs against EQD. So then there are also like liquidity provision opportunities. So basically, you can either stake ecosystem assets to Equilibrium and earn yields on your stake, and simultaneously get stablecoins out of Equilibrium and provide them to, let's say, liquidity pools on external protocols, and that could be also interesting. Equilibrium itself has quite a bunch of use cases as well. As I mentioned, we have a stable swap pool where you can stake EQD and earn yield on market making. Simultaneously, you can take out LP tokens and put them to the money markets. And also EQD can be used as collateral for borrowing assets from the money markets as well. Yeah, so in terms of our traction so far, like we have over 500,000 EQD minted. So here's like the quick breakdown of collateral types that we currently have behind EQD supply. First of all, like the most popular one is C-Dot, which is the dot wrapper from Parallel. We have also EQD USDC LP token as the second most popular asset backing EQD supply. EQ-Dots is another interesting collateral type. So it's basically a liquid dot staking wrapper that we have on Equilibrium. And there are some other collaterals that you can use for minting EQD, which gives you quite more kind of flexibility when you're, let's say, taking out IBTC from Interlay or something. Yeah, so in terms of our current integrations, we have integration with a multi-chain. However, right now we're integrating with other bridges because there is an issue on the multi-chain side. We have our swap pool up and running, and there will be like some more pools launched very soon, including Beam Swap and some others. And we have a pretty decent lineup of XCM connections that are currently available for EQD out there. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Maybe the last thing I wanted to mention, we currently have the development which will help not only EQD, but the entire Polkadot ecosystem to sustain. We're building the Ledger application for supporting all the parachains, which will be available for for all the parachain teams to like seamlessly connect with Ledger. If you want to support our treasury proposal, which targeted to support these developments, you can scan these QR codes and go and support us over there. That's pretty much it. Thank you very much for coming. Have a good one.